The heels of recording a historic estimated $97 billion budget surplus, a recession could be on the horizon. State financial leaders say it could happen soon, and because of how Governor Newsom wants to spend the massive budget surplus, California may face a significant budget shortfall as soon as next year. Fox 40 Capitol reporter Ashley Zavala explains.
This warning is coming from California's nonpartisan legislative analyst in response to Governor Gavin Newsom's proposed state budget. The LAO says the governor's spending plan could put California on a fiscal cliff and could require eventually budget cuts in the billions.
The fiscal cliff that we are talking about is that the state's revenue picture that we're talking about here is so strong that it's putting us on course to be above the state appropriations limit.
California legislative analyst Gabe Patek says the governor's budget proposal would leave the state $3.4 billion over that constitutional spending limit this year and another $22 billion next year. The law, also known as the GAN limit, is calculated every year based on population and inflation. It requires every dollar over the limit to be associated with $1.60 in required spending to get under the limit. Recent years have made it tricky to stay under the limit as the state's population slightly decreased while revenues have boomed. And with more money, more problems. The LAO notes this issue becomes worse with continued revenue growth. But at the same time, officials say there's also a heightened risk of recession.
There is the risk that revenues could go down because of a recession. In fact, we think the risk of recession has increased, and that would present a whole different set of budget problems, of course, because we'd have not enough revenue to pay for our existing commitments. And so that's why, right now, what we recommend is that the state and the legislature consider adding to discretionary reserves. The discretionary reserves would help us in either scenario.
We agree that there's a lot of uncertainty out there. We believe, however, that what we've done with the governor's revised budget places the state in a solid position, knowing that there's that uncertainty ahead.
H.D. Palmer is the spokesman for the California Department of Finance. He says billions of dollars are going into reserves. Plus, he says about 95% of the surplus plans to be used on one-time spending, meaning the projects do not require ongoing money. With $15 billion in future projects, the administration is prepared to scale back if needed.
20 years ago, during the dot-com boom, when revenues were riding the rocket and everybody thought that was going to be going on forever, and when the dot-com boom went spectacularly bust and those revenues evaporated overnight, there was still that higher ongoing level of spending that created those multi-billion-dollar deficits in California that it probably took us about a decade to finally get off of the books. We don't want to make that same mistake again.
The LAO says the governor and legislature have two options to deal with the long-term problems of the state appropriations limit. The first is to consider reducing taxes over time. The other is to ask voters to change the limit. Democratic leaders in the state Senate and Governor Gavin Newsom have signaled they'll try to ask voters to change the limit in 2024. At the state capitol, Ashley Zavala, Fox 40 News.